Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tokyo Ghoul Re-Invoke. Now, I've had bronchitis for the past couple days. I streamed Bleach Brave Souls, and my throat was pretty bad. It was really scratchy. I could barely, sometimes I would try and speak through sentences, and I couldn't get all the way out through the sentence before it just started hurt. Then I coughed up blood, and I was like, gonna go to the doctor now. Went to the doctor, I had bronchitis. I've been pumping a bunch of vitamin C supplements in my body. I've been pumping Dayquil into it. I'm trying to improve it. There's still a slight scratch to it, so I'm sorry if you do hear it, but that's just kind of my explanation as to things. For now, while we're coming back, while we're going to do this, I figured if any time is the time, now is to try and go through the HUD elements of the game to be able to try and get a more general understanding of it, as well as to teach people that just kind of came to the game, because I know that a lot of hype has been built recently because of the re-units that have been coming out. There's been data mines now of Takizawa, Hairu Ihei, Black Reaper Kaneki, and supposedly a Ghoul Hayase. We don't know if he's going to be Fest, but his actual art, which I'll throw up on screen right now, looks absolutely stunning. And if you're looking to see the data mines of the other voice units and stuff like that, I will have links in the description below showing the voice clips that were released, as well as the art for Hayase, just linked inside a tweet. And that's what I wanted to go through. Other than that, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go through the different HUD elements and show off what exactly most of them mean. We're going to start with the bottom bar of all 6 of the buttons, and we're going to go through them one by one, and then we'll go to the map that's actually on the screen currently. So here, this red button is probably the most important button in the entire giggity goddamn game. The reason for this is because you're able to dispatch characters to be able to get more... Basically, you get new quests off of it, and the new quests have their own rewards, their own set of missions, stuff like that, so you can get a bunch of rewards off of it. And the way you do it, personally, I don't know an efficient way of going about dispatching them personally. I don't actually know the way to click this and be like, I want to dispatch these characters to it. What I do know is you can click the white box on each of these and set the dispatch to go up for each of them, all the way through for the most part. As long as you have enough units to be able to cover all of the different wards, for the most part, you can just go ahead and do this. And then pops up a screen here. What you can do is if your percentage on the top of the screen, mine is at 50 for this exact mission. If it seems like it's too low, you can put money in to be able to increase it by 1% per, 100,000 money. I don't really do it too often, especially if, most of the wards, there's not really a huge deal if you do fail them, because if you go through all of these, you can kind of see they're kind of the same. And if you do fail them, you can actually go ahead and instant complete them afterwards. Let me see if I can do this right here. No, that pulled them back. Never mind. So you can cancel it. That was not my intention, though. I'm going to go ahead and set them back up to go out and do that. Apparently, you can also set a helper. I didn't know about that at all. Well, that's interesting. I just learned something new via canceling and going into it via just the one choice. I'm learning things. Even through going through the HUD elements, I've already learned something new. I'd be curious if you press the second button on this dispatch menu. I've never actually tested this HUD. If I go here, it says it costs 3 Hakka. Would that instant complete it? In which case, if I want to do the example of the current... I won't actually do it, but this second button, the chain button, basically, once you fail one of the dispatch missions, you can then go into this tab and be able to complete it. The left button that appears, it's basically the exact same thing as the dispatch one, except for the fact that the left button, where the one that is right below where I'm clicking right now is, that button lets you choose a new set of people to go on the quest and instant completes it based on those people you added to it. Usually I put my SSR units into it and it can just instant complete every single one of the missions very easily. The second button, you can use medkits to be able to revive that team and see if they can retry the mission and get it completed. Personally, I just use the new team on top of it and it usually works, so that's kind of what my prerogative has been so far. In the purple button, here on the bottom here with the 15, 12, and 14, it's basically the exact quests that are on the map. These are the ones that let you, all of these ones let you grind different materials. The ones that have the vials, these in particular, are the ones that let you level up Ghoul characters, and you upgrade their weapons via using those ones. Kind of like, I find the separation to be very interesting because it does give you the chance to focus on different CCG or Ghoul, and they're very different units to try and get them up. I've been grinding this one. This one's the CCG version of the Dark. I've been grinding this one quite a bit because these are the materials I use to upgrade my Fesarima that I currently use. Basically, just try and find out what element your character is, and you can go into a particular quest and try and get the materials off of it just via doing that. Additionally, you can see that, okay, went too far back. You can see here, there are 4 things that have a little bit of like an icon on them that are orange. Just wanted to pause real quick to say that these orange buttons are only gotten off of the dispatch quest, so it's randomly given to you via the completions that you get there. 20, 6, 17, and 10. The 20, this one is going to be a boss fight, basically like a raid of this Correo Mado unit. You can grind out the completion of the ranks to be able to get his unit over and over to upgrade him. Personally, I find him to not be that helpful. However, during this current period of time, when this raid is currently out, this motto right here is boosted, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But it's an important thing to know that the raid characters that are there during the period do matter and do have a reason to be grinded out. And that's what I want to go through right there. The 6th one, you can see here, it has the book quest. That's the basic book quest, so you don't want to do that one. The one that's popping up with the little rainbow icon on the top right is the one you want to grind. This is the upgraded version of the Dark Ghoul quest. So basically, if I had Hafkakuji Kaneki, for example, if I had, I don't know who else is Dark and Ghoul, but if I had one of those, I would be able to grind out the materials here. And these quests would not be completed if you only did the other one that is in the dispatch version. This one's drop rates are far, far higher. Fantastic for grinding new materials. There's also one for here. This is the Ghoul Green, and the 10 is the Ghoul Blue. I actually got only Ghoul quests for some reason, but that's alright. We understand the CCG is the little cubes. The cubes are kind of the thing that lets you dictate which one it is. That's the Ghoul, and the CCG should be these ones. Just a good thing to note. Now we're going to move on to the next HUD element. This right here is very difficult to understand for me personally. A lot of these, so this first tab during this current period of time is letting you use the PvP in the game, basically. You can click on any of the ward sections, and you can actually fight people and bosses, or not bosses. You can fight other people's teams and kind of choose that and be able to fight them one-on-one. Personally, I don't see a big deal. I've done it with the 5 flames to be able to get more rewards, and I don't see it being much better than doing the single flame. However, actually, I do want to show this off, so we will do this at the end, because the PvP is a kind of interesting system. So we're going to back out of this for now. Currently, I have nothing else to say on that section, so we'll leave that. It's just a PvP section that you can choose different people to fight. Talk about that a little bit later. The next option is little skulls. The skull icon, either you can fight the boss, of which the current bosses for the CCG are Hoji and Chuhachikawa, light and dark, respectively. No. Yeah, respectively. So Hoji is light, which is yellow, and Hachikawa is dark, which is purple. And there's also, if you end up joining the opposite team, the Ghoul... No, I'm on Ghoul. If you end up joining the opposite team on the CCG, you'll be fighting bosses that are currently, I believe it's Naki and Jason? No, it's Noro and Tatara. So you'll be fighting those people if you're on that team. And typically the only time to pick your team between the two is when the event first starts, because usually it gets leaned in one direction. And if it does get leaned in one direction in particular, like for example, let's say that we have 700 people on Ghoul and 300 on CCG. Everyone who joins the game and logs in after that period of time where you get to choose who you are, then gets put automatically onto the CCG team. It's unfortunate, and basically you just have to, when the reset's going to happen, you have to log in fairly soon afterwards. Next time I'm going to try to gun for being on the CCG side so I can fight the Ghoul bosses, but we'll see when that comes around. That's kind of what that was. The second button is probably the most, like on the top of the screen, the second button is probably the most important one currently for just random PvE, because this shows you the boosted units currently that get extra stats based on you playing the game. You can see the new Fess Rize, the one that's light, gets a 1.5 times boost to their HP, 1.75 times boost to their attack, 1.5 times to their defense, plus 3 AP, and plus 2 durability. Amazing increases. And let's say you have a maxed out Rize. Her default, I believe, is 11 AP, so currently she would have 14, which is ridiculous for a character that's a Fess unit. Additionally, Hakuja Kaneki, which I didn't pull unfortunately, is also boosted, plus 2 AP and stuff like that. Orochi's boosted. And here, the 2 raid units that are currently available during this period of time, in Nishiki, which is wounded, and Kureo Mado, are also boosted. Mado has almost, so 1.75 for HP, 1.25 for attack, 1.75 for defense. So basically he's like a tank type character for this particular event. Plus 2 AP and plus 2 defense. Additionally, Nishiki gets a plus 4 AP, 1.75 times HP, and stuff like that. It's just a very helpful system. Oh, also, apparently the Hinami is also boosted. I actually didn't know that. So that's another one that was in the gacha a little while ago, but no one really pulled on it because there's so many other units to go for. I haven't actually seen any gameplay of her ever, but she is also boosted. Additionally, the free highest that you get from logging in is also boosted. He gets 1 AP, 1 durability, and 1.5 times all of his stats. Very helpful. If you want to use the highest and you don't really have a good green character, I'd say he's worth it, especially if he's boosted during this current period of time. It just sounds helpful. The third option is also trying to organize if you need to organize this menu right here. We don't really need to. So that's kind of what I wanted to go through there. And now you have one more option, of which is probably going to be a fairly helpful system. Now, I don't 100% know a majority of these buttons. I'm going to... Here, let me try to see if I can understand these buttons better before I start giving a tutorial on them. Okay, so I went ahead and asked some questions at my own Discord in the Re-Invoke tab, and Divine Justice, someone that's quite knowledgeable on the game, ended up helping you through this. With this first tab, I kind of know generally what the other tabs do, so I want to go through these one by one. The top one apparently doubles the rewards you get off of these dispatch quests when you complete them. So for example, when you first complete one of the dispatch quests, it gives you, let's say, 1 of each material for Dark. If you were to complete it with this currently active, you get double rewards for that. So you get double the dark materials. The second one is double the coins you get from quests. Honestly, coins aren't that helpful. There's not really a huge need for money in this game so far, aside from just finishing off ward stuff. So I have 7 million. That's just kind of been building up slowly. And the third one is EXP, though the EXP system doesn't really help you all that much. There's not really a lot that you gain off of it, aside from just bigger numbers. On the second tab is kind of the more important one. I believe that the second, or the first one, doubles your drops that you get from all of your quests that you currently do for half an hour. So for example, if I were to activate it right now, the drops that were from the Ghoul material quests that we had for dispatch before, the drops that would have ×4 for the gold materials would now give ×8. It's really helpful. And as you can see, I didn't really know about that all that much. And I learned about that very recently when I started using these items for the first time, when I started exploring the HUD properly. I have 31 of them, and it is going to be amazing to be able to use them once I get to the point that I can actually grind up new characters. All of mine are currently maxed, aside from the need to grind up the Tsukiyama Kagunes or the Kaneki Kagunes and stuff like that. The second option, I believe, is for double the drops on the raid quests. I never really had the need to use them, and I'm out of them, so I don't really have a way to properly explain it at the moment. If I do get the information in the future, I will tell you guys about it. The third option, I believe the top one, makes you get more rewards from the Flame quests. I can't assure you, and honestly, it costs 3 Hakka. I'm probably not going to be testing it anytime soon. The second option, I believe, gives you 2 more AP during the period of time that it's active. I don't have any potions for that, so I can't test that either. The third one, I believe, gives you more durability and defense for when you do quests. I do have 4 of those, so we can use those in general. What we are going to do now is I would like to first go explore the character upgrade system, and then we're going to go through one of the assault quests with the PvP, and then we'll be done for today. So I wanted to go over to this tab. I wanted to go into the Ascension. I wanted to go to my not Nishiki, thanks. I want to go to my Hayase and talk about the upgrade system and what I've been doing. So when you get items off of these... Actually, the best example I could probably give is the motto, to be honest. So, for example, a lot of quests give you these materials. These materials are what you need to grind up to be able to max out characters and increase their weapon level. When you increase their weapon level, after a quest, it says... So, first of all, there's a lot of shit. There's two different options for upgrading a character's weapon. If I look at motto as a whole... You can see here on the bottom half of the screen, right here, I can't even point to it. I'll put an arrow on the screen right now. As you can see, it says 0 out of 10 and 0%. Both of those are completely separate upgrade systems, and the second one, the 0%, is strictly based on the dupes that you give to a character. Here, if I go into the options, you can see, as you upgrade him, he does gain bonus stats. On the first upgrade on the top of the screen, you can see that he gains +2 AP. On the second upgrade, he gains the skill, which gives him +200 attack. As you can see, it's grayed out in the first option and glowing in the second. The next upgrade gives him +2 AP. Next one gives him +1 durability, which is what the little yellow shields are. Next one, +200 defense. Next one, +2 durability, +2 AP. Third skill at level 8. Level 8 was when the upgrade materials... So... You use silver up to, I believe, yeah, +2. You use gold up to +7. Then you use rainbow, SSR, up to +10. The SSR ones are the ones that are extremely difficult to grind, but definitely worth grinding. And once you end up getting to the final level 10, you get the fourth skill, which ends up being a special unique skill for each character it has. It seems like the one that is here makes you unable to hit the enemies makes the enemies unable to dodge your special. Pretty good as a whole of an ability, and Fesarima has the exact same one. Now the other upgrade system, which is based on the dupes, is here. It can give you a whole other skill which you can't actually access through upgrading the weapon, basically. For every dupe you put in, the character will gain 20% of the skill. 20%, 40%, 60%, 80%. Each time increasing the damage and output of the damage of the skill of the character. Nothing else gets upgraded aside from that skill's damage and what it does to you. So it could give you more bonus attack or do more damage to the enemies. But as you hit 100% on your dupe system, you get a new skill. I'm unsure what Motto's is, but the important thing is that the extra skill is very helpful on most of the units. It's probably the most important part of anyone's kit if you're trying to have the best possible characters. For example, Arima's, if he hits 100%, he gets a +5 AP bonus. Now on a character that has 1,228 attack, 5 more attacks per turn is insane, especially when he defaults to having 6 currently, when he's at level 8. So as you can see, it's a really big deal. And another way to increase that weapon percent is not by pulling dupes, but instead by going to the shop system, not this one. Instead by going to the shop system, going to RC, and using the RC that you get off of selling characters to be able to buy these red pills. Each pill will give you +1%. I grinded pills to be able to give to Arima, and he got up to 60%, but it's definitely a very slow system, so if you can, avoiding it is the best idea. Additionally, there are other shop systems. The second from the bottom... Oh, my throat's dying. I'm talking too much. You can use your tickets to be able to exchange for SSR unit, or SSR or SR versions of the upgrade materials. Each of them you can upgrade yourself. You can grab each of them. I only use this if I only have one material I still need, and I don't want to keep on grinding. So I'm kind of saving these for now, for a rainy day, if I do end up feeling the need to use them at some point soon. However, the current tickets that I have only go up to the SR versions, and the rainbow ones are what's needed for the SSR version, so I kind of don't need to use them. Additionally, on the bottom section of this is probably the one that's the most important shop in the game. And before I even go into that, I want to go ahead and go into Arima's upgrade system and show this. This is a Kagune that's boasted by Tsukiyama. Who owns it doesn't actually matter. The important thing is that it's the dark version, and it's the Tsukiyama version. The cough's getting worse. Oh no. Oh, I'm making mistakes here. And so, in order to get those items, the main way to get them is either to play the boss fights or the PvP, or to have enough exchange tickets to come into this game mode, well, shop, and to use them to exchange for each of the items. For example, if I wanted to upgrade Arima, I would need to scroll down to the dark version. I would need to go to here. I need to exchange for 5. I only have enough for 3, so I'm not going to do it right now. But you can see that it's kind of a very important part of upgrading characters, and you kind of need them. So typically, the exchange tickets are kind of an important part of earning. God, I'm like dying right now. One sec. I need to get water. Alright, that is a metric fuck ton better, and I can actually speak now. So, thank God for water. Let's try and get through the rest of this, and I kind of want to... I want to go over some other things about the game that are kind of important to know, just in general, to be able to thrive forward. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into Assault. I am going to use 5 flames here, because I'm curious if it's going to give us more rewards. We're going to use... Yeah, this team's fine. I think this is a pretty solid team. And we're gonna... So there's 3 options here. There's blue, which is like lower rank. Green, which is medium. And red, which is supposedly the hard one. But it's just based on the... I believe that it's entirely based on the score of the people and the rank they are. On the bottom, you can see that this person's rank is 9,901. By the way... Dragon Ball Z meme there or something. Middle one, it's rank 14,000, pretty far down. And then the top one is rank 2,444. So we're going to fight that guy. We're going to fight the Hakka Kujikaneki. We're going to fucking die in 2 seconds, but that's alright. And we'll try and get to this. And like every single character in the game kind of has their own elements to them, and there's different abilities. I feel as if there's currently no effective database of the character units that let you see each of the characters and what they're good with. There are tier lists and people to reroll for. Fast units are kind of the best part of the game. But typically it's not really a big deciding thing. And like, here, what we're going to do, I'm going to try to take down the Hakka Kujikaneki. You can see here it's very like... Because PvP doesn't really seem like it was... The game wasn't made with the intention of PvP being a thing. So you can see that because you have the first turn, typically you can end up winning. Oh. My phone alarm is going off. Oh no. Totally forgot that I set my alarm on my phone for currently 1:15 p.m. because I have to go to an appointment later. So it's a thing. I'm glad I remembered that. And we're going to go ahead and attack here. I feel as if there's one more element that I wanted to cover, but I can't really do it because Ammon's not going to be able to get a skill off. Basically, we're going to end our turn. So Ammon does have the ability to awaken. Most characters don't. I don't actually have a full list of who can, but it's very, very few. And basically when you awaken, you end up getting more DPS on your unit, and also he can hit like a truck. And the way you activate it is when your skill is ready, instead of swiping upwards, you swipe downwards. And when you do, he breaks Kura in 2, and he does a metric fuck ton more damage. It's not really a huge deal, but I feel as if a lot of people don't know about that, and if you play the game, this Ammon, he's probably like mid A tier without being awakened, SSS tier when awakened. It's that big of a difference. Additionally, we got quite a few rewards off of this, actually. I'm happy about that. Is there going to be enough rewards here as well? yeah, it appears we went up about 3 or 4 ranks, and we also got a bunch of SR materials off of this. Very helpful. So I guess using 5 flames is pretty effective. Good to know. That's kind of what I wanted to go through. I wanted to explain the HUD elements one by one and try and go through things to explain the game better. I do feel as if there's more things to cover, and there's more things about the game that you do need to learn to be able to play it effectively. Personally, I don't know how people get the amount of points that you need to be able to get the dupes of Ayato currently. As you play the dispatch quests, as you play the different quests inside the game, you get points, and as you get points, you get better and better rewards. However, you can see I'm just under roughly about 5 million points. I actually don't know how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is 4 million. I'm just under 5 million. However, the max reward, the best reward, is at 30 million. I'm unsure how people grind up to 30 million so easily, and I feel as if there's something that I'm missing. I think that's just kind of grinding the quests that aren't on the hard side, and just to get the points out really fast. And that's not really how I roll, to be honest. I need the materials to upgrade characters anyway, so I'm kind of focusing on that. And that's kind of been how my progression has been going. Additionally, the best ways to get Hakka in the game currently, you get roughly about 300 off of it. You can go into the story, you can play each of the quests all the way through all the difficulties. There's now a hard mode for the original series. If you click the top of the screen, you can go to Route A or Re to be able to play as those quests and play those ones. There's also a new request out with Mutsuki. That's fantastic. There's quite a bit to the game. I do feel as if it's a very in-depth experience, but I personally find it to be one of the most fun games to play out there at this current point. So I'm going to keep on trying to gun through it. Additionally, there have been many leaks recently, and I'm super excited for the future of the game. It seems like they're definitely covering the re-content effectively and quickly. So, like, I'm also going to use a gotcha ticket, whatever. Why not? They're putting out a lot of new content, and I feel as if it's such a good step, and there's so much to offer in this game. It's probably the best Tokyo Ghoul game that is currently released. And if you are a fan of the game, I do suggest this is the starting point to getting into it. Either way, thank you for watching. I'm trying to improve my cough. I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to be less sick. And hopefully we'll be able to resume proper videos soon. I'm sorry about all the issues that have been happening recently, and please take it easy.